Hi, it's Chad Williams from New Zealand, and I will be competing in RAAM 2017. Welcome to the OhioRAAM Show.
Well, thank you, Chad Williams, for that introduction. And Chad, do I owe you an apology? The show I had him on a couple of months ago, show number 144, got lost on my website. I don't think it was my fault. It's back there again, Chad, and if you look for Chad's show, it's back 144 on the website, OhioRAAMshow.com. And this is the OhioRAAM Show, a show about cycling and ultracycling, comes to you 3 times a month on the 7th, the 17th, and 27th of each month. And we're looking now at show number 149. The OhioRAAM Show is brought to you by the good folks at Time Stations 41 in Oxford, Ohio, and Time Stations 42 in Blanchester, Ohio, time stations on the race across America. These time stations are open 24 hours a day while the race is passing through Ohio. This year, the race will start in Oceanside, California, solo riders starting on the 13th of June, and teams starting on the 17th, which means that the riders will be passing through our time stations here in Ohio from June the 20th until June the 24th, and we will be open around the clock with 24-hour food, 24-hour fuel, and 24-hour fans. We hope that you'll come and enjoy the race with us. There'll be somebody there to explain what's going on if you're new to the race across America. We'd love to have you at one of these 2 time stations. Look for the McDonald's restaurant in both these cities and look around, you'll find us right there. On today's show, we're going to go back to India once again to visit with Amit Samarth, who will be riding in the Race Across America 2017 as a solo rider. If you're not at the OhioRAAMshow.com website now, please go there, and there you will see links to more information about Amit. And with that, we're going to head right on over to Nagpur, India, and Amit Samarth. And so, Amit, how are you today? This evening, I guess, in India.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just done with my training for the day, and I'm back here to have a chat with you.
Well, thank you a lot, Amit, for joining us here. It's evening there where you're at, and it's early morning here where I'm at. I've got my coffee, and I'm trying to wake up here a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What is your life when you're not riding a bicycle?
Yeah, basically, I'm a trained physician. I studied medicine in my own city. I did my undergraduate degree here in India. After that, I did master's in public health, which is from Johns Hopkins School of Public Health. So I studied in US for an year. And then I came back to my own country, and I've been working in the field of public health for almost last 13 years now. So I'm a public health professional. Sports is my passion. So I kind of try to gel my passion as well as my profession together. I promote sporting events and sport activities in small towns of India. So the entire objective for me, passion, is to actually make people active by the means of sports. That's what I like to do, and we organize sports events. I have myself organized 8 marathon events. I'm a kind of a veteran in organizing marathon and sports events. And then apart from that, I have been working in the field of public health. I have worked with various different organizations, research organizations, and consulting organizations like PricewaterhouseCoopers and other research organizations like Access Health International. And I was, before starting my own organization, I used to work with Save a Mother Foundation as a chief operating officer. Presently, I'm just doing sports and trying to develop a kind of a mechanism where I actually promote something called as healthy cities, and how we can promote activity and physical activity and sports across all age groups. Actually, that's what I want to do further in my life. Like how we make our cities and our people more active, more healthy, and more responsible towards their own health. So that's what that is my passion and my profession.
So you're able to merge both what you do for a living as well as your avocation. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. I think the biggest public health challenge in India is non-communicable diseases now. We have a huge epidemic of non-communicable diseases. And as you know, the biggest, one of the biggest risk factor for non-communicable disease is inactive life, and which can be which is in the hands of the person himself. So this is, I think, the biggest public health challenge for India is lack of sports, lack of recreation. Discourage children to get into sports and all. We want them to only focus on certain subjects and all, and then get good marks or good grades, and then get into some good big school and then study more. So the entire dominance the society is actually towards studies and academic. So this is one of the biggest challenge actually, this whole education system, because everybody wants to get good grades. Nobody wants to run a 5 kilometer in 15 minutes, isn't it? So there is no such challenge being thrown to children's that they should run fast or they should run more or they should cycle fast. Parents don't promote these things.
I wish that in the United States we were more interested in good grades. It doesn't seem to be the case. We have a lot of sports, but the kind of activity you're talking about is also lacking in our schools. Tell me, how did you get into cycling? I guess you've been in running as well. How did this all happen for you?
Yeah, actually, I started with endurance sports by running marathons. I started running marathons, I think, 5 years back. Mostly it was all marathon running, and I have myself ran more than 100 half marathons, and I have done 8 full marathons, and then I have done so cycling actually started with Ironman. Actually, I wanted to do Ironman races, and then so that's where I got more into cycling. I got a new road, like my first road bike was like 5 years back when I wanted to train for an Ironman. At that time, I got a road bike and I started training for cycling to do Ironman races. So far, I have done 9 Ironman races. Apart from that, I have then last year actually I did some long distance cycling. One of my friend actually registered me for this 650 kilometer cycle race. That was the first time I was cycling that long, and I did pretty well. I finished 650 kilometers in some 27 hours. Got qualified for something called as RAM. So that was actually first.
What is this? Huh?
So that was, yeah. So that was like, and actually I met Fred. He came for at that race. So, and I was able to meet him, the race director of RAM, and he told me about RAM and what is RAM, and then actually I went for the first time and I saw what is Race Across America and onto the website and what this whole race is all about and what kind of preparation you need. And I did 1,000 kilometers. We did some more training, like 2,400 kilometers, 2,700 kilometers. Then I kind of got more serious about RAM and I can do RAM and possible with good amount of training and strategy and working on multiple aspects of RAM. So that's how I got into RAM. And then actually I came down last year. I crewed for Shauna Hogan. I was part of her team, and I was with her for almost 14 days. And I actually saw the entire RAM in front of me. What is the route, weather, what kind of conditions you have. The thought came into my mind, okay, if I train myself for something called a 6 months, 7 months, RAM is definitely a possible race. Yeah, it was a huge learning experience, especially because I have never crewed for someone. So actually, I also understood what the crew goes through in RAM, and it's not easy to crew in RAM because it's not like you're on a holiday or a vacation. It's extremely strenuous job. It was very good that I crewed for her, and now when I choose I'm like putting my crew together. It's and all the things which we are trying to get together. So it's all the entire experience of crewing was extremely is extremely helpful. Apart from that, one of my other friend was also on Shauna's crew, so he's part of my team now. So we have a good ground experience of RAM.
What race did you use to qualify for RAM?
Yeah, I told you about that Pune to Goa race, which happens in India itself, the Deccan Cliffhanger.
Yes, I know that's a RAM qualifier. So how's your training going?
So training is going on quite fine. In India, we have the discipline on road is not that much, and India has one of the highest road traffic accidents in the world. So the safety is actually a very big issue in India when you are training like long distances like 300, 400 kilometers or 200, 300 miles. If you are doing like 200 or 300 mile ride, then you always kind of need a support vehicle and somebody to kind of give you nutrition and hydration and help you out in case you need any kind of help. So training in India is a little bit difficult as compared to US, and we don't have the kind of highways, but we have many times the road conditions are not good and we have to choose. So we don't have a huge choice of highways to go on and train.
My son gets to India. He says, I don't see how anybody cycles there at all.
Within the city, but my city, it's like a third tier city in the country, and so we don't have very heavy traffic within the city, and we now have a very good community which kind of promotes recreational cycling. There are a lot of breways happening in my city nowadays. Cycling is definitely picking up in India in a big way.
Tell me about your crew. Is it developing? Are your plans falling into place?
We already, like, my 90% of the crew is already finalized. So I have my crew. As I told, one of my friend Vivith was also on Shauna's team. So he's part of my crew. Then my friend who crewed me for Deccan Cliffhanger, he's also gonna be on the RAM crew. And apart from that, my wife, she's also going to be on the RAM crew, and my mother is going to be on the RAM crew because my mother knows about my nutrition and what I like to eat and what I don't like to eat, and she's the one who is going to nutrition part, and she's the best person to do it. 3 other athletes on my crew because I need guys who are into sports and who understand the intensity of a race. They have the energy levels to sustain themselves as well as keep on encouraging me. So we have a mix of very good seniors as well as young blood in the team. We have some other seniors also who are gonna looking after the strategy and taking decisions. We have a pretty good mix here.
it looks like India has really produced quite a nice turnout for the Race Across America this year. There are several of you in the solo category. We're still looking for that elusive first Indian
Yeah.
complete the Race Across America.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I think there are 5 guys this year who have registered for RAM. So it's I think this year is I think the history is gonna made in RAM. Somebody is gonna do it.
Amit, thank you for taking time to be with us today. We appreciate that. We're so happy with the growth that's going in India, and we love to be a part of that here on the show to help promote that. And all of you people who work so hard to make that happen there. I know it's a very new thing, and we appreciate it. Thanks a lot for being with us.
Thanks a lot. Oh. Yeah, have a nice day. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye, Amit. Well, thank you, Amit, for visiting with us today. We appreciate that a great deal, and we want to make sure that, once again, all of you go to the OhioRAAMshow.com website, and there you'll see more information about Amit. And while you're at the website, and check out other information, a place where you can leave your comments, we mentioned that before, also a place where you can leave your email address, and from that you'll get notices of future shows. We want to thank all of you who support the show. That means so much to us. The show is showing growth, and that's because you give it on the social media, your likes, your pluses, your retweets, but most importantly, their shares, which that's really spreads the information about the show around. And the show's purpose is to grow the sport of ultracycling, and you're helping that happen when you help us. On our next show on April the 27th, we'll have Fabio Silvestri on the show from Brazil. It'll be our very first visit to Brazil, and you'll recognize that name, some of you, as he won the Sebring 24-hour this year. We'll see you then in about 10 days, and goodbye.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.